Okay, so you look at the Lakers and you see them sitting there fourth in the West, and you think, all right, not bad, not bad.
Yeah.
But then you start digging a little deeper, and all of a sudden everyone's kind of freaking out about how they've been playing.
Right.
You sent us this Clutch Points article where Kendrick Perkins just goes off on them.
Yeah.
Basically saying they look awful.
He did not hold back.
No, he did not.
This is going to be a fun deep dive.
Yeah, so we're going to take a look at what people are saying about the Lakers right now,
Yeah.
especially all this talk about their defense and even what Luka Doncic is doing on that end of the floor.
Yeah.
Because Perkins really went in on him in this article.
He did.
So we're going to try to figure out exactly what the big concerns are here and what it all means for the Lakers with the playoffs just around the corner.
Right, because this isn't just some random hot take. Perkins is saying this.
Right.
He was on NBA Today on Tuesday.
Right after the Lakers lost to the Magic.
Their third straight loss.
Yeah, Monday night. That was rough.
Yeah, and here's the thing.
They're still fourth in the West.
Only 2.5 games behind Houston in second.
Like nobody in the West wants to win.
It's so weird, right?
So many teams are struggling.
Yeah, you'd think someone would pull away, but it's just been this back and forth.
Exactly.
But that doesn't mean the Lakers can just relax, because Perkins and Boozer both made a good point. We're talking about 3 weeks until the playoffs.
Yeah.
If you've got holes in your defense now, that's going to be a huge problem in the playoffs.
Oh, yeah.
You don't have time to experiment anymore.
And Perkins didn't exactly sugarcoat it.
Nope.
I mean, he straight up called them gross.
Yeah.
And he kept coming back to their defense.
And you know what he said about the real contenders right now?
Yeah, he said they're mixing it up.
Exactly. Trying different things, you know?
Yeah, like throwing in some zone maybe, or switching up their matchups on defense.
They're trying to find what works best before the playoffs start.
And he doesn't think the Lakers are doing that.
Not at all. And that's the problem at this point. It's not just about wins and losses. It's about showing you can handle the playoffs.
Yeah, being able to adapt to different opponents and situations.
Exactly.
Then he went after Luka Doncic.
He did, but he actually gave J.J. Redick some credit first.
Yeah, he said Redick's doing a good job as coach.
Yeah, but then he said Doncic has to do better defensively.
He's very blunt about it.
Yeah, he said he needs to bring the same energy on defense as he does on offense.
Which we all know is a lot of energy.
A lot.
I mean, it's a big challenge to throw at a star player like that.
It is, but Perkins is right. Playoff basketball is all about finding weaknesses.
And attacking them relentlessly.
Exactly. And the worry is that Doncic could become that weakness for the Lakers.
Especially in the West, with so many athletic guards and wings.
Right. They're going to target him.
Perkins even said teams will search him out.
And when you have a guy who's getting targeted like that on defense,
That puts so much pressure on the rest of the team.
it throws everything off your rotations, your help defense, everything.
You can't afford to have a weak link like that in the playoffs.
And with the playoffs so close, Doncic needs to figure this out fast.
And it's not just about Doncic working harder on defense.
It's about the whole team's communication and their scheme.
Because if one guy is struggling defensively,
It affects everyone else.
and it can lead to breakdowns all over the court.
Exactly. So Perkins is calling out Doncic, but this might be a symptom of a much bigger defensive problem for the Lakers.
And Perkins wasn't the only one with concerns. Carlos Boozer said pretty much the same thing.
Yeah, he said it's definitely concerning to see them playing like this so close to the playoffs.
And Boozer made a really interesting point. He said the Lakers were actually the #1 defense in the league for a while earlier this season.
For like 7 or 8 games over a 2-month span.
So they've shown they can do it.
Yeah, they're clearly capable of playing great defense.
Which makes their struggles now even more confusing.
Yeah, it's like they forgot how to play defense.
Boozer thinks their defense got worse after LeBron got hurt.
Even though they kept winning games with Doncic carrying them on offense.
Right, it's like maybe winning masked some of their defensive problems.
Yeah, and now those problems are coming back to bite them.
And Boozer went into some detail about how teams are going to attack Doncic in the playoffs,
Oh, yeah. He said they'll try to force him into help side positions.
where he has to rotate over and help his teammates.
Right, and they'll put him in a lot of pick and rolls.
Make him guard the ball handler.
Basically make him uncomfortable and see if he can make the right decisions.
And Boozer brought up some pretty bad examples of the Lakers' defense lately.
Like giving up 70 points in the paint to the Bulls.
That's just embarrassing.
And they gave up 146 points in another game.
You're not winning a championship playing defense like that.
Boozer said there's no way they can beat teams like OKC and Denver if they keep having those kinds of meltdowns.
No way.
You can't just try to outscore those teams in the playoffs.
You gotta get stops.
Exactly. And it's interesting that all this came after that loss to Orlando.
Yeah, Perkins was on NBA Today the very next day.
And Boozer actually said that Orlando is a really good team.
Yeah, he said they could be a higher seed in the East if they were healthier.
So the Lakers didn't just lose to some scrub team,
He was a good team.
a potential playoff team.
They've got the Pacers next.
That's on Wednesday.
42-29. That's a tough fight.
It's a big game for them.
Nationally televised on ESPN, too.
Yeah, everyone's going to be watching to see if they can bounce back.
Snap that losing streak.
Exactly. They need to show they're for real.
Prove they can be a contender.
That's the key.
So what we've learned today is that Perkins and Boozer have some serious concerns about the Lakers, especially their defense.
And Luka Doncic needs to step it up on that end of the floor.
But the weird thing is they're still in a good spot in the West because everyone else is struggling too,
But that can change very quickly,
especially with the playoffs.
where every weakness is magnified.
So here's a question for you to think about. What are one or two very specific adjustments the Lakers can make right now to fix their defense and become a true contender in the West?
They've got 3 weeks to figure it out.
Three.
Tick-tock.
Tick-tock.